It's so unfortunate. Okay. Um, there we go. I just refresh my screen. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Tech issues, 1000% annoyance, but I am here. I'm way behind schedule today. So forgive me for my tardiness. Welcome to the live. I'm not going to keep this live very long. Um, Welcome to the live. So again, my apologies, major tech issues, extra. I went live and then had to come out of the live and get some of these screens together, reboot my computer and all that good stuff. And it's crazy because I have a Mac. Like, it's crazy. Um, hey Sasha, thank you. It's the same hair from yesterday. I just brushed it out. I told y'all I should have been born like in the 60s and the 70s where big hair was like a thing, like Diana Ross hair. I love big hair. I don't know if it's a Southern thing or what, but I love big hair. And I have a small head too. So that's probably one of the biggest reasons. Gosh, I love big hair. That's one fun fact about me. I love big hair. All right. So obviously I'm late to the party, but it's going to be a really good conversation today. We are winding down for daily lives for May. We call this May Momentum. And basically, I went live pretty much every day of this month to build community, provide value. And there has been some other like initiatives that I wanted to do with live streams and broadcasts and things like that. So this has been very, very interesting to say the least. And I absolutely think this process was a humbling experience for me. And I can't wait to document like the results that I have received during this whole ordeal. But the last day of the month, which is the 31st, I'm going to like sign off or sound off or whatever you want to call it with a paid masterclass, which is $33 as of right now. It will go up after this live. So if you have been dragging your feet um, with getting into the class, by the time you look at the replay, or if you are not looking at this live and you're like, oh, let me catch Coach J. And I say this, the class has already went up because you were late. So definitely still, however, sign up, get in the class. It's going to be amazing experience because we're going to be talking about vision. And a lot of women have lost their vision. A lot of people went back to work. A lot of people went back to corporate. And, or some people, they're working and they just kind of lost their way, lost their why, and they're just kind of flying by the seat of their pants. But this, the initiative for this masterclass is to get you back in alignment for your vision, rewrite your vision, and then be able to use that masterclass replay as a place for you to always refer to go back to what was originally planned. Because I don't believe that the divine gave you an idea of a business and very specific about what that business was and not give you an eternal plan for it. Not internal, eternal. Because it's definitely something that's going to outlast you. And it's something that's going to carry you through the rest of your days. Okay. So one of the things I wanted to talk about this morning, so if you could see me or hear me, definitely give me some hearts. Feel free to share this broadcast in the DMs or share it with someone or tag someone on this broadcast that you feel would greatly benefit from this conversation, especially if they're coaches or being coached or interested in being coached. This is a good conversation to have and a good broadcast, a good live to watch. So obviously I've been coaching for a long time, and not just from a business standpoint with Ellison Consulting, which is my company, but also coaching in the corporate arena. And then also in my last business that I had, that I've had for years actually. And people didn't know this, but my first coaching experience was really in job coaching and resume coaching. And this was back probably in 2013, 2014. And I did resume writing for people, did very good with it. And then also went into HR after I had Maddie. And it was just really, really interesting coaching experience. And I've always been kind of that person that was holding people accountable, but also understanding that I had to do the work on myself to make sure I rose to the occasion, just like people expected me to help them rise to the occasion in their own life. So coaching is one of those things where it's a love-hate relationship in the business, in the entrepreneurial realm. You see a lot of people talking against it. You see a lot of people for it. But for some reason, people still hire coaching. And I think this is probably main reasons why. A lot of people talk bad about coaching or have such a negative perception of coaching, like, oh, well, these coaches out here scamming people, or it's like an MLM thing, or blah, 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 blah. Coaching is not for people who want to think average, and coaching is not for people who want to keep a life that they don't like. And coaching is really not for that middle class mindset, impoverished class mindset. Okay. And I'm being nice when I say that because it is the truth. It's for people that actually want to quantum leap into a different life. And it is for high performers, high achievers that desire to increase the results and solve performance problems in specific areas of their life. So when you see people that are saying things like, everybody wants to be a coach, everybody, these coaches say, y'all be careful, these coaches doing this, doing that. Their coaches don't understand, especially nowadays, a lot of people are becoming coaches because it is a low barrier entry. I mean, that is the truth. However, coaching is a profession and a discipline that everybody cannot rise to. And you actually have to commit to being a career-oriented coach. Like, you literally have to see this as a career. You cannot see this as a gig. Okay? You can't see this as just mothering and parenting. You can't see this profession as something to do and to think that doing the minimum of just, I just want to help people, just empower people. I just want to help people with this. I just want to help people with that. No. Coaching means to say some difficult things to the person that's being coached. Coaching is pulling people from one state to another state, helping them to evolve in their belief systems, helping them to evolve to a different identity. That is what coaching is. I'm just being honest. Coaching comes with responsibilities. Coaching does not have to include razzle dazzle, confetti, lace, gold, and all this other stuff. And I think that's the thing. America has definitely deepened the need to always feel like you have to step up, and you got to step up, and you got to have this nice $1 million brand as a coach. You don't have to have any of that. In fact, some of your highest paid coaches, don't even have a website. They don't even have a website. Some of them don't even have websites. I know coaches that are doing, $100,000 months and have a very simple business model. A lot of them you probably have never heard of. A lot of them you probably have never seen before. There are coaches that are making $100,000 months that are in their 50s and 60s. And this is why I say, you have to be very careful, because you have coaches that, what is it called? That they will say that they're coaches, but they're actually marketers, right? They say they're marketers. Marketers are completely different beasts. They don't coach people, right? So you have ClickFunnels and all these different systems and CRMs and all of these types of gurus that are out there. And a lot of them are not coaches. They're just marketers. Okay. You have to be good at sales. And I think that's the thing with coaches. is that you have to decide if you want to be a marketer, right? Because marketers have a completely different type of way that they see coaching. And when coaching was actually built upon relationships. In fact, let me help y'all with this. Coaching was never supposed to be this whole funnel ad spend. That's something America started doing a while back. And it was an area of opportunity. People said, I want more clients, I want more clients, I want more clients. But can you handle the clients? Coaching is seen as a profession where you are sitting with your client, where you are having conversations that are deeper than, oh, did you get this done? It's unraveling beliefs that need to be rehacked and recreated. And this is why sometimes I disagree with a lot of marketing tactics that coaches use, because you're not building relationships with your people. You have to decide if you actually want to be a coach or not. A lot of people don't even know if they want to be a coach or not, because it requires you to have difficult conversations and to say the hard things. And if you're a people pleaser, it's going to be very hard for you to say the hard things to your client because you don't want to run them away. When that's actually why they came to you, because they want to be held accountable and they want to stop thinking the way that they're thinking. Y'all there? And I need y'all to like put in the comments, like, why do you feel that a lot of people turn away from coaching? Like, do you feel like, why do people really truly do that? Why do people stray away from coaching? Why do people that know they need it, but they don't invest in it, right? A lot of people don't want to be told to put this down and pick this up. Let go of this and let's step into this. You don't have to audition to step into a life that you deserve. Right? So this is what I have, seen, especially with coaches. Yes. Sasha said, I love the fact that you speak on what coaching really is and not the razzle dazzle of it all. And I'm glad you said that, Sasha, because when we we have required readings in the Matriarch CEO coaching program, and required readings are obviously the foundational pieces of coaching, right? Even women who come into my program and they are consultants, they're strategists, there is still some coaching involved, because you still have to get your client to trust you with different things. And you still need to know the methodologies and the true nature of what coaching is. You have to know that coaching is a co-active, co-creating method. You're working with your client to create a new life for them, or create a new thought process, create a new belief system. That transformation, like all coaching should have a transformation piece to it. Like they should go out with the basis and the foundation of a new identity in so many ways, right? There should be higher level conversations, higher levels of I guess you could say, higher levels of conversations, high levels of thinking, stimulating thought processes, stimulating high level conversations. There should be a masterminding of sorts. Your client should do a lot of the talking, especially if there's one-on-ones available. Like if there's one-on-ones, and your client should be having more conversation during this session. But a lot of us do not understand that, because we want to make it about therapy, and it's really not about going back in the past. Now you can go back in the past and try to understand thought process, but then you bring them back to present, because coaching is not about just talking to this person. It's really all about trust and helping the client to trust themselves. A lot of people don't trust themselves to do something different. And when you are in that, here we go. Let me go here. Let me go here. A lot of times, coaching requires people to put down a lot or unravel and deconstruct a lot of the indoctrination that was heavily embedded into the muscle since a very, very young age. Let me do this because I need to. This right here is what you would have to think about when it comes down to coaching. So, what is indoctrination? Okay, the process of teaching a person or group to accept a set of beliefs uncritically. It's the process of teaching a person or group to accept a set of beliefs uncritically. Uncritically. There is no critical. Did you see how that? Here we go. Here's another definition of indoctrination. It means to teach someone to accept a set of beliefs without questioning them. Don't you know you shut part of the brain down when indoctrination is in place? You shut a part of it. That's why they want you at 0 to 7 years old and teaching you at that level, because you don't question from 0 to 7. There's no back talk between 0 and 7. You don't even go back and forth with anybody really at 0 to 7. So if you can get the child and their environment in alignment to indoctrination, you have successfully gotten to a place where you are embedding that information into their psyche to the point where they don't question and they grow up without questioning until they see that their environment is questioning, and then it raises questions. No, it's Sasha, I'm gonna go here. It sounds like a lot of them. In fact, this is how what does this have to do with coaching, Jay? What does it have to do with coaching? The West, here in the United States specifically, we are heavily embedded into religion. Religion and corporations do go hand in hand. What does it have to do with coaching? I got you. Don't worry about it. Just hold my hand through this. Let's walk through this. The reason why religion and corporations go hand in hand is because it's a system where to teach people loyalty without questioning why you are loyal. Okay. That is a part of belief systems and environments that feed into a normalcy of not questioning things. And when someone questions, which is why a lot of times people shut you down and hush you up when you start to ask questions, because they have to think about the environment. Because if you start raising questions, that means other people, it's going to wake up some type of brain cell or a brain synapse. Something is going to happen to where everybody starts saying this, I never thought about it that way. Boom, here we go. Wait a minute, you're messing up the environment. Because we want everybody to go under this and to obey. There's a systematic process to make you obey, right? And never question the obedience. Why are you so obedient to this process? It's the same thing with going to the job. There has to be some type of loyalty, which is why they ask you, how long do you plan on being here? How long do you plan on being a part of this corporation? We need somebody that sees this as a long-term career when they don't see you as a long-term talent. right? They want you to have the commitment. When you come in, you become a member of a church, they start asking you what type of committees is what are you interested in, because they want you to get involved. This is why also we say and we tell people, well, you need belonging. You need to feel like you belong. Because as long as they can keep you in an environment where everybody is thinking that group think, right? That group think, it's going to be hard for you to remove yourself, which is also why when a lot of people deconstruct from a lot of these methods and a lot of these environments and institutions, nobody really checks on them. Nobody checks on them to see how they're doing. They pretty much lose all contact. Even family, when you decide to kind of step away from a lot of the things that they were doing in the family, all of a sudden they just ostracize. Oh, well, no, we don't talk to her anymore. Right? Or we don't talk to him anymore. Those things, people don't want to lose that, because the belonging in the community and the environment was something that they valued so much in their life. And a lot of women, especially, we don't like doing things alone by ourselves. But then also, too, we fear getting into spaces that encourage thinking. Because it's going to challenge you to start questioning. And questioning is scary, because the answers that you get, you feel like you're betraying all of that indoctrination because it was so deep within, and all of the consequences that you were told you were going to have if you stray away. That's what they got, to stray away from the flock. This is why thinking women is lowball the most fearful thing of the patriarchy. Women who think and women who know how to think and have an opinion is the biggest fear of the patriarchy. And women are scared to think for themselves because they're so used to being under a covering. And people do want to keep you in a space where you feel like you have to be covered to live. Okay, I need, to be out here and you don't have a covering. Well, covering from what? What are you talking about a covering? What I need a covering? What are you saying? So what happens, right? Because when you step out of an indoctrinated environment and you seek to, like, I know this is bigger. I know there's something on the other side of this that is so much bigger for me. I got to get over here. I know there's something more to life than over here. Because I'm going to this job every single day. I'm going to, do this every single day. There's so many things over here that I'm tired of doing. I'm so tired of that life. And so now I want to go over here to where I'm celebrated, and I want to have a life where I don't have to depend on anybody to give me what I'm worth, or to tell me that I'm not worthy of having more money, or I have to do all these things in order to get this, which is also why, in corporate structures, you have to work hard in order to get a raise, right? You have to work hard to, yes, Kristen said the same thoughts on why I'm taking the master class. Absolutely. I gotta know, like, outside of all these things, that I can have a value-based life instead of a work-based life. Oh, well, if you work here, until you're 69 or 70 and a half, you can get your 401k. Not understanding that you can retire at the age of 40. You can retire at the age of 35. You can retire at the age of 30. We don't talk about that, because now if you retire that early, people are like, oh, so what you're going to do now? It's all about doing. Everything is about what do you do in order to receive. If you do all of these things, you're going to get your reward. If you do all these things, we're going to give you a promotion. When you do all of these things and you save these souls, you're going to get a shinier crown. There's ranks in heaven, honey. I want to be amongst the ones that's getting the highest rank. I got to convert more. So everything is conversion. Everything is about moving people into another type of, we're like the rankings, right? So there's hierarchies. This is why when you step into business, you can literally run your business the way you want to run your business. If you want to run your business as a solopreneur, there are certain systems in place where you need to have that in stone, but no one talks about how you can do that and still have boundaries. Nobody talks about that. There are ways that you can run a business without running yourself down to the wire and still have a value-based life, that you're not trading your time for money, because in corporate, you're trading your time for money. In religion, you're always in people's face trying to help them with this and help them with that and not being compensated. And, oh, God is going to bless you. God is going to bless you. You know, pastors give you the guilt trip. Well, you know, I can't do all this by myself. I got to have some help to get, you know, we got to get people. But why is coaching so hard? Because it encourages self-development. It calls up self-preservation. It calls up self-mastery. It calls up self-governance. It calls up self-accountability. And that is what you are not really taught in indoctrinated institutions. Because you are taught that in order for you to do this, or in order for you to get this, you got to do this first. Now, while there are processes to build a business, you will find it that the programming that you had has to be undone. It has to be undone. You have to get rid of the programming. And then you have to reprogram with a different type of script. Y'all here with me? Does this make sense? I think we just need to call attention that a lot of us do need to be honest with ourselves. Are we willing to unravel these systems? Ain't nobody telling you to denounce God. You can't denounce, you don't have to denounce anything you don't want to. And ain't nobody telling you to denounce anything. A lot of people think that denouncing, oh, I'm denouncing this and I'm letting go of this and I'm it doesn't mean anything if your character is still the same. I don't care what you denounce. I don't care what you get rid of. You got to understand that you are the creator, co-creator of your own reality. And you also have to understand that you are in a matrix. A lot of people don't want to hear that. You can't run from the matrix. You're going to have to always, you got to understand this. The matrix actually means, the definition of matrix is called the mother. Did you know that? Oh, I got to escape the matrix. You can't leave up out of here. You got to learn how to deal with it. You got to learn how to master this. You got to learn how to be a part of this and master the system. You got to learn how to master this. This is not one of those things where, okay, I want to be coached. I want to be coached. I really want to be coached. But coaching comes with responsibility and self-development, like I said. So many times, a lot of times, when women enroll into coaching, when they finally start thinking like, I need to get out of this mindset, what you are trying to do is break out and move from being, how can I put this? From being told what to think to now being taught how to think. If you don't hear nothing else I say on this live or this video, in order to break free from indoctrinating systems and to live life in terms of joy and peace and abundance, and to know that what you do today, you actually have, this is so good, that you actually have control over how you see abundance now. Because there is no cap. Because when you finally understand this right here, this is going to bless you, that you're coming from a capped system. The matrix is covering everybody, right? But this is the thing. The matrix is the protective covering that limits you to a life in this body, in this system. But you're going from a capped system to an uncapped system, and that's the part that scares you a lot. That's right there. The understanding that you can step out and go jogging at 1 o'clock during the daytime, or go and meet your friends for lunch at 11 o'clock and stay for 3.5 hours. If you want to, you can go on vacation whenever you want to. If you want to pick up and you want to go on vacation tomorrow, you actually have the opportunity to do that. You don't have to get approval from anybody. You can take off whenever you want to. You can hire this person to help run this. You can take away your face from a program and let your business run like a machine. Those possibilities become absolutely reality for you. But you still have to step into the knowingness of that and learn how to do that. Creating is only a part of the beauty of this. You got to have an imagination out here. That's what a lot of people don't understand. You got to have an imagination. Over here in indoctrinated systems, you are discouraged from using your imagination. You're taught to only think about heaven after you leave this thing. After your body has expired, then you can think about, well, where you going to go after you leave here? What's going to happen when you die? And then that's all you're thinking about is, I'm ready to go. I told y'all better stop doing that. I don't know if my algorithm is broke. I need to reset it. But I'm seeing a lot of people getting frustrated about, oh, it just seemed like I just don't have any reason to keep going. Yes, you do. And these are people who have not understood that in order to live a different life, you're going to have to think different. You're going to have to learn how to think out here. Canva Create. Here we go. I don't even know why I brought that up. Canva Create had an event yesterday. So Canva, as y'all know Canva, right? They had an event yesterday where they revealed some new features, revealed some new benefits and some new creations within the system, right? Because Canva is one of the most successful creator tools out there. And it's actually headed by a woman, okay? A young woman, to be exact. Very, very, the feminine whole Canva experience is a feminine principle in itself. It should be studied. It's all case study. So Canva doesn't go through a lot of evolutions, but they went through a major quantum leap yesterday. And if you look at my stories, you can kind of see how they updated Canva, and they have this whole relaunch campaign that has been brilliant and I mean, just absolutely brilliant. But what am I saying? Everybody, every business, every CEO your imagination is never limited. Even in a system where you have created in the possibilities, creating new sites, creating new systems, created a new business model, creating new offers, all of these things, there's so much room for imagination. And when you decide to keep imagining, like your career becomes imagination. That's good right there. And to be generously and valuably compensated because you are an imagination oriented person, because you think and you dream for a living. You're given room and space to believe for something different. And Canva, when we thought Canva couldn't get any better, Canva got better. And everybody is on board with it. Absolutely. I agree, Sean. She said it felt like a little secret. It was the cutest thing I've ever seen. I said, this launch was not astronomically big, but it was so creatively genius. And it made you feel, and I'm going to bring this up. It even like it made you excited. It kind of took you back into almost like a Walt Disney or Disney kind of effect, like a new ride just rolled out or something like. So what does this have to do with that, like coaching, right? Coaching gives you the opportunity and the space to dream. Dream about you being someone else and actually preparing to do that. That's good. Because if you don't allow yourself the space and opportunity to dream and to imagine you at a different level, you're going to be holding on to thought processes and belief systems that keep you under thinking that all of this over here is ridiculous. You're going to keep talking your way out of everything. You're going to keep yourself in a self-critical place. Don't you know that being to be self-critical and to keep yourself in a fear of failure spot in your life actually puts you into a space where you become the most difficult person you could ever deal with. You become the person that is a bad person to you. Like you can say, I'm a good person. I'm a very good person. No, not to yourself. Because who holds you back from living out the life that you're supposed to be living? You. You created your own prison. At the level of awareness, when you become aware that you are creating your own prison, that comes with the state of awareness, not the intent when you were 0 to 7 because somebody else created that prison for you and you didn't even know it. But once you get to a place in your life where you know and you see that I'm in a prison, you start to create that prison to be even tighter, because when you come into a state of awareness and you come into a state of now I see where I'm at, you actually get a chance to come to the place and a position of choice. Now you got to make a decision. If now that I'm aware that I'm being in this internal prison, do I change that or do I stay where I'm at? And then when I decide to say, okay, I'm going to take a gamble at this, I'm going to go ahead and, but see, this is the thing. When you step over here and you learn that there is a different way, but it is a process to adopt this different way, this is where I lose a lot of women right here. This is where I lose you. And this is how I know that many times it's because when the indoctrination runs deep, this is why it's hard for women who are older to catch on. And why you can see children like 19, 20 years old becoming millionaires, because the indoctrination is not as deep. They haven't had as many life experiences that you have. So you've had more time to fail than they did. So that's what I said, when women between at 35 and 45 years old, that's kind of where my, most of my audience is, that right there, that's hard right there. Because that's the second stage of your life, right there. That's what they call the midlife crisis right here. Midlife crisis will start to be around 45, 50. Now it really kind of starts around 35-ish, which is why they tell women to go ahead and have babies before they're 35 and hurry up. Because your awareness, wisdom starts forming around 35. It's supposed to anyway. It's supposed to. And so this is when women start to wake up. They've had experience with relationships. They've had experience with financial ups and downs. They've had experience with disappointments with the career-oriented space. They've been, they went through loss and gains with housing and loss and gains with family, and they understand friendships. They understand the nature of relationships. They understand money, right? They understand the power of it. Now that they're coming to a state of understanding, now they're going to have to deal with, do I keep these beliefs, knowing that these beliefs do not serve me? And which is also why a lot of women resort to the life of feeling sorry for themselves and regret, instead of stepping into a power to believe and do something different that a lot of their family did not get to do. And this is why sometimes too, that y'all feel like you're abandoning people. You're abandoning this community, you're abandoning your family, you're abandoning your church, and you're abandoned because people start to realize that in order to go here and imagine different and have a different life and expand the way I see my life, I'm going to have to be taught to think for myself. And I don't know if I got the capability or capacity to do that. I can ask people for their advice. I can ask people for their counsel. I can ask people what do they think in their opinion. But at the end of the day, whatever I choose, it has to be me. You become a threat to the patriarchy. You become a threat to capitalism in so many ways, because now you have learned how to think for yourself. And then we also have to, Ayana said, the process and going through it is the toughest part. But you get to define what is tough. And that's where the heavy indoctrination is. The heavier and the more deep the indoctrination is, the harder it is to relieve yourself of those systems to adopt and create your own system. This is how you know how deep it is. I don't know. I don't want to do coaching. I just want to, no, I'm okay. No, you're not. You're not okay. You don't like that life. I'm just grateful. No, you're not. That's why I tell you, get a stronger testimony other than God woke me up this morning. My mini golden doodle just got through barking upstairs before this live came on. She woke up this morning, but that's not a testimony. The first thing she want to do is where the food at. She don't care about all that. She want to know where the food at. The raccoons woke up this morning. What else you have? You woke up this morning because your life hasn't expired. It just hasn't. There's a lot of people that didn't wake up this morning. Did they have the easy way out? Or did they have the hard way out? Because in this lifetime, let me help you with this and I'm gonna get off here. This is the lifetime where you literally get to wake up and decide that you want something different, right? When people leave, you have the time of, like, the date of the birth of that person, right? So the month, the day, and the year. And then there's a dash. And then there's the end, the month, the date, and the year. What you do in between, nobody talks about right there. This is but they talk about it at the time where the ceremony or where the event is when they're celebrating what happened in that dash. What you did between there matters. Because when you leave and you're lowered into a hole or you cremated or whatever whatever happens, right? You're going to be forgotten by a lot of people. You're going to be forgotten by a lot of people, except for the ones that were very, very close to you. They'll have this, like, man, I remember when we used to do this. But the vast majority of the people will forget about you. And they will have to get up in the morning and continue on with life. So in this lifetime, why don't you just do what you want to do anyway? If you know that life keeps going after you leave here, people's lives are still they still got to get up in the morning and take care of their kids or wash their face in the morning and get in traffic or get on live or do content. If you know that that is the case, why aren't you doing what you have to do anyway to enjoy this life with the consciousness that you have? Because you actually get a chance to create your own experience. Why can't you just learn how to do that? Because if I'm going to leave up out of here, I need to look like Denzel Washington said, I'm going to leave here with some. I'm leaving here with some. What am I leaving here with? I'm leaving here with an experience. I don't know if I like they say that you have a life review and all this other stuff. I don't know about all that. To be honest, I really don't believe you go through all that. Ain't nobody finna sit in no chair and watch all this stuff happen. I don't believe none of that. I think that's just something they make up so you can. I don't believe there's a life review. I just think those are like, anyway, I'm not gonna go through all that. What I'm gonna say, what I'm gonna say is that we're fearing failure. We fear failure, right? We fear that we're going to mess up something. We fear that we're going to drop the ball when we've already kind of dropped the ball on ourselves by being in a life that we don't enjoy and not having joy and not having peace in our life. We're afraid of failing when we're in a failing system, when you're failing at living the life that you're supposed to have. When coaching comes into play, you're literally learning how to create your own joy. You're learning how to tap God for yourself. You're learning how to talk to God as yourself. And you're not having to have people around you to go in the gap for you because you don't know what their prayers are on your behalf. That's why I tell people sometimes you got, why can't you? Because I don't know what your prayers are. What are you requesting on my behalf? Because whoever got the stronger faith, their prayer is really going to get through. So you got to be careful of allowing people to go to God on your behalf. Can y'all just pray for me? No, you pray for you. But see, that's what I'm saying. When you get out here and you learn how to create your own joy, you got to learn how to tap in for yourself. I teach my clients how to do that. I teach them self-concept information, how to tap in when they need, because it's going to come a point they're going to leave me. They're going to leave. They're going to be independent. And that's another thing too. Coaching helps you to get free. Like to the point where you become self-reliant, self-dependent, self-worthy, self-managed. Because there's going to be some times you can't call on somebody to help you. Because a lot of the people are in indoctrinated systems themselves. They don't even know what they coming in and standing in the gap for you for. They don't know. They don't know how to do that. When you say, oh, girl, pray for me. I'm really, I'm ready for $15,000 a month. So I'm ready to, grow my Instagram. Or I'm ready to, see 5,000 more followers on my YouTube. But those people don't know what that's like. They don't know all that. A lot of them don't get it. Why you got to have all these people on your page? Why can't you just, girl, I can't do that. But over here, you get a chance to step into knowing I am going to get 5,000 more followers on my YouTube this month. I know I am. Those particular declarations and rooting yourself in declarations that over here in these systems don't make any sense is a byproduct of you being properly coached and in a belief system that quantum leaps you into a different reality. When you learn that you can get somewhere fast. I remember the first time when I made $100,000 in 5 months. Don't you know how scared I was of that? And I didn't even know I hit it. I wasn't even tracking it. And somebody said, like, what does it feel like to make $100,000 in 5 months? I said, it don't feel any different because the shock of it was way after the fact. When you learn that you can collapse time and how much money you get to create and generate, you're like, wow, I've never made $100,000 in my life in other roles, but I did it for myself. And once you learn that you can do something at quantum speed, it's hard for you to go back. It's hard for you to go back. When you can make $200,000, like I did in 10 months, 10, 11 months, $200,000 in 10, 11 months, it's hard for you to go back. It's hard for you to go back. When you learn that you can do something yourself and you do it and you do it well and you quantum speed, it's hard for you to go back. Because when you find out that you have the capacity and the power to do something by yourself or do something on your own and do something to serve your next level, because you are entitled. You become your biggest cheerleader. The longer that you stay in a life that doesn't serve you and holds you back, you become your biggest op. You become your biggest hater. You become your greatest enemy. You become a bad person to yourself because you hold you back from experiencing in that dash the greatest life that you could ever muster up and learn how to just adapt. You have to learn how to readapt to something that's bigger than you. And you are stepping into, because we talk about higher self. You become your higher self. You become your highest self when you become self-actualized. So coaching has a lot to do with that. And you spend your entire life avoiding when you could really be learning how to lean in. You're not far from it. You're one yes away from completely changing your life. One yes away. So I hope that some of you have went on ahead and registered for the masterclass. If you ready to get into the matriarch CEO coaching program, let me know. Send me the keyword matriarch and let's talk about it. So we can get you to scale. But this is the life that you can actually decide. Do you want more or do you want to stay where you at? Because there is a choice on the table. Okay. All right. I love y'all. Have a good rest of your Saturday, and I'll see you here tomorrow.